Hey everybody, welcome to Scotty's Record Shop on YouTube. Scotty's got a little bit of a cold brewing here, so we'll see how this goes. I just quickly wanted to show you a group that I grew up with, probably a lot of us grew up with in the vinyl community, and they're kind of back now. They tour every once in a while. One of the members, the bass player, passed away a couple years ago, but for the most part the band is still intact and still sounding great thanks to their singer, a guy named Paul Rogers, who's still got an amazing voice, wonderful voice. I'm talking about the group Bad Company, and I'm just going to show you the Paul Rogers stuff. I have some of the other later 80s stuff in the wall out back. There's also, I've never really showed people everything, and someday I will. There's the wall of records here that's a 5x5 IKEA shelf. But there's also over here another one, not quite as big. It probably has, I don't know, 1,000 albums in it. Over there anyway, probably a good 1,000 albums, close to it. Actually, there's a box over here on the floor, as a matter of fact. My wife complains that our living room is turning into a record storage facility, and I throw this out to you people in the vinyl community. What's wrong with that? Well, anyway, so quickly, some Bad Company stuff and some memorabilia that I showed you in the very first video I did, my introduction. Actually, I'm going to be getting updates to these simply because the covers aren't in great shape. Partially due to the fact that they're old. I mean, I've had these long time. The very first Bad Company record, as you can tell, it's got some issues up here. It's you know, a little tattered and worn. The vinyl is really in great shape, though. Wonderful, great record. Straight Shooter, 1974. Another one of those just really great records from them. 1975, Running with the Pack, a nice shiny gatefold. I love the inner cover there. I don't know if you can see this, but they're watching Bugs Bunny. I use Bugs Bunny here. Yeah, Bugs Bunny on the television here. Which is kind of cool. I love old Warner Brothers stuff, Warner Brothers cartoons. This was where they kind of went south with me. I love the song, but I don't necessarily care for the album. 1976, Burning Sky. 76, 77, 76. And it's a gatefold. Got a pretty neat inner sleeve. And the back cover. Not the biggest fan of that record, but 1979, Desolation Angel. I like this record as well. First copy I ever had of this was on cassette. My parents bought me that in 1979 after doing all my chores like a good little boy, and they always ask me, "What do you want?" You know, and I'm like, "You know what I want. You know, just go buy me an album. Here's a list." So anyway, and the last album they did with Paul Rogers, Rough Diamonds, which is really cool. It's got this cutout. The record isn't all that great, I mean, but it's okay. I still feel this is better than the stuff they put out in the later 80s. The last thing I wanted to show you, like I said, I showed this in my first video, my introduction, because it was just kind of a unique piece for the Desolation Angels record. This is a gold record award that hung, I was told, in the Atlantic Record Studio in New York, I believe, the New York branch. It's in really nice shape. It's for the Desolation Angels LP, awarded by the RIAA for 500,000 copies sold. Isn't that nice? So that's a quick little look at my Bad Company, at least with Paul Rogers collection. On vinyl anyway. I've got some other stuff on CD, some live stuff from the 70s that just really kicks butt. And of course there's that anthology double CD. If you're looking for one thing to get from Bad Company and you want it on CD, that would be a nice collection. So, and some new music too, and some B-sides. Little Misunderstanding, I think, was the song. that was on a B-side that's on that CD, first time on CD. So anyway, enough of my rambling. Until next time, everybody, peace and love.